said, "What's up, stupids?"
Oh, there it is.
That's us.
Just like the movie.
That's us.
We are stupid. All right, Gogs, go. I'm very sleepy.
Welcome to Movie the Podcast. That's right, Movie the Podcast. We are still in Thanksgiving. It's still prison movies. We got to watch Riki-Oh, a.k.a. The Story of Ricky, a.k.a. a Chinese trauma film, a.k.a. a real slop fest. Loved it. We're going to get into it. We're going to explore it.
The genre that this holds is splatter comedy.
Yeah.
That makes and also very prescient in a future not too far from our own, where all prisons are for profit and privatized.
Yeah.
Well, this is like the Dead Alive genre. That kind of splatter comedy. Yeah.
Or even like this is definitely like Turbo Kid took a lot of influence from this movie without a doubt.
As did Street Fighter 2.
Yeah.
Because they're 1,000,000% rocking Shadow Blue hats.
And almost, I would say, I don't know if it 100% fits in, but like the like ultra violence of like Kill Bill is also kind of in here.
Oh, you know Quentin Tarantino's seen this movie.
He's talked about this movie before. But yeah, he's a fan. Also, he I can't think of his name. His name's like Tony something. He's a comedian. Tony starts with an S. I can't think of his name. Anyway, he was on his podcast, and Tarantino said that he's got a 8-episode TV show that he's written that he's just going to start to produce next year. So I to look forward to. So anyway, what did you all watch this week, Gogs? I mean, Gogs. Sorry, what am I doing? Sorry, I'm getting naked.
Where's the enthusiasm? I ended up watching a bunch of stuff, but some of it was half-assed, so I won't talk about the half-assed things. I'll talk about things I concentrated on. We'll start with 2 things that are classics and 2 new things to me. I've recently rewatched Dredd. That movie still kicks an unprecedented amount of ass. That movie fucking rules. Karl Urban rules.
Guys, who thinks they're the law?
Well, Mama Clan?
But who is the law?
Dredd. I am the law. I mean, that fucking movie is just like fucking Mama Clan. Like I fucking if you can get me a better acted bottom half of anyone's face than fucking Karl Urban in that movie, and you can't fucking do it. That movie fucking
I've never seen somebody growl an entire dialogue and be that successful.
Karl Urban is just the best because that movie, like the Judge Dredd property, was unfilmable for so long because actors like refused to wear the mask the whole movie. I mean, that's one of the biggest problems with the Stallone movie is like I mean, you see that with like Marvel movies nowadays. Like, how often does the Spider-Man mask come off? It drives me insane.
I think we've talked about it before. The Stallone Dredd movie is totally watchable. Like, it's fun.
It's one of those movies that gets always thrown around like worst movies, and it's not even bad. Like, it's fun. It's corny movie as hell. It's fun though. Yeah, but it's a blast. Like, it's a fun movie. Like, I don't know.
And Armand Assante is just devouring the scenery in that movie.
And the production design is cool, and like it's a fun movie. Like
the ABC Warriors and shit. Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, it's not even close to being bad. Like I don't think it's
not compared to the things we've seen.
I don't think it's a particularly great like adaptation of Judge Dredd, but I don't think it's a bad movie either. But anyway. Karl Urban fucking rocks.
Karl Urban doesn't get enough love, in my humble opinion.
We get
we do, but I also rewatched. I haven't seen this in a long time, and recently, so we rewatched The 10. That movie's a ton of fun.
The movie Alec and I went to the theater. We went to see something else, but we ended up watching that instead. And like the crowd that we saw it in was very indifferent to the film, and we loved it.
We went to see Superbad.
That's right.
And it was like sold out. It was before the golden age of movies with pre-sales and reserving seats.
Right? I know. It's so wild to think about.
We went and it was sold out. So I don't think I'd even seen a trailer for The 10. I didn't even know what it was. We went and saw it and we're like, this is awesome.
I think I saw the trailer and I think I sold it to you by saying it's just the guys from The State. Like, it's all those guys made a movie. And it's like, yeah, let's go.
Dude, that Liv Schreiber segment is still one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
Like I think we've like run that into the ground about the Wundies and the McDonald's or whatever.
Yeah,
but like the part where his wife is getting in his ass about ordering more CAT scan machines while he's on the phone, and he just karate chops her, and she just crumples, and then there's a pause, and then he goes, "I'm sorry, I didn't see you there." It's just so fucking.
But just the fucking button that the kids all get radiated, and he's at the bar with fucking Joe Matrulio or whatever, and they can't get in to use the CAT scan machines.
I mean, they get into a battle and keep trying to one up each other by buying more CAT scan machines.
And then the part. The way it ends with all the guys at the house like avoiding going to church so they can be naked in one dude's house listening to Roberta Flack. Like
a little. What does he say? It's a little light. What he says is like it's like a newbie Flack, or he says something funny. He's like it's a little amateur Flack or something.
It was very meat and potatoes Flack.
The fucking a spoof and a goof. The fucking doctor that leaves the keys.
It was just a goof.
It's a goddamn goof.
And then like the romance with Rob Corddry so that he could now be sexually assaulted by Rob Corddry as opposed to Big Buster. Like it's just.
Has Winona Ryder ever been hotter than she is in that fucking movie?
She fucks the just impossibly hot in that movie.
Puppet.
Oh yeah, isn't the Rob Corddry bit? Doesn't it ends with him being whoever the other guys be like, yeah, now we can be together, and he's like, yeah.
Oh yeah,
and then it like washes over him. Yeah.
But yeah, like that movie's a ton of fun. It's like another movie that couldn't be made nowadays, but it's 2010 or wherever it came out, pretty great.
Because nobody could marry Diane Wiest.
Yeah. Oh, they fucking broke up with Wiest. And Famke Janssen in that movie also just, I mean, she's always very attractive, but especially. I think I said her name wrong. It's Famke. I don't know how to say her name right.
Not sure.
Definitely not Famke.
It's not.
Damn it. Fair enough. So I also watched. So these are two new movies to me. One of them might surprise you. I watched Rad for the first time.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah.
The BMX dancing / bike racing movie.
How have we not done we gotta save the youth center month yet?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. That movie is that movie didn't make a lick of sense, but it's kind of fun.
Doesn't that have Send Me an Angel?
Send Me an Angel. They dance. Lori Loughlin from
Prison,
Full House, and the kid, they BMX dance to Send Me an Angel at the high school, even though she's not really from the high school. She's part of the touring BMX company that's in town. So I don't know how she got to go to prom, but whatever. I'm not going to question it. That movie's silly, but it's a good time. And then the other thing I watched, which I really enjoyed, I'm going to put it on Front Street, it was Maverick. I finally watched Top Gun Maverick.
I still got to see that. Yeah.
I thought you meant Maverick.
The James Garner.
Oh, I love the James Garner vehicle. I do like that movie. Or I remember liking that movie.
Absolutely slapping.
I want to say I own that soundtrack for some reason or another.
What's on that soundtrack?
That's 7:11, and she couldn't be mine. That's like song I know off of it, but I think I.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Top Gun Maverick, the end of it, I mean, it's corny, and it's parts of it are kind of cheesy, and I would have done the end a little different, but in general, Tom Cruise, he might be an absolute psychopath, but the man's a good actor. You got to give him that. And Miles Teller's really good in it, and I don't know, it's got a lot of like just kind of kick-ass action.
Well, that's what you want, right?
That's exactly what I want. Like I walked away like
this coming from someone that doesn't really like the original at all.
Yeah, no, like I like this better. I like this better than the original. I was like, I'm here for the like, and all the scenes with like them zipping around in the jets. Like I'm here for it. The movie's a lot of fun.
Didn't they get like special cameras or something to do the aerial combat? Like I think
they did, and I think there was some. I thought I heard some sort of crazy story, like, and maybe it's bullshit, but they actually the Navy actually let Tom Cruise fly an F-18.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Like they just let him do it. Like it was.
So simple, even a child can operate it. Can I fly it?
Of course you cannot.
You cannot. Ton of fun. It takes a turn in the end that I didn't expect. Fun times. Good movie. Would recommend. A friend of ours who put it on for us. Apparently, this is the 7th time he viewed it since it's been available. So
that's a good
7
one.
times. Jesus Christ.
7 times is too many times, but very into it.
Who was that made their whole personality Top Gun Maverick?
Their head is cubic in stature.
He can say his name. He doesn't listen to this show.
Oh well, yeah. Well, Kev.
That makes sense.
Full drip,
out.
full sports drip. Loves Top Gun Maverick.
Is he the visor and flip flops guy?
That's
the.
No, I know, besides the
other one. That couldn't be more me. I took off my visor right before I got on camera.
Years.
Yeah, you don't wear visors.
It's a solid 20-year visor though. Like you had.
No, I mean I had the full rain catcher. I was a real piece of shit. I'm gonna I'll put it on Front Street.
You exemplified a casual lifestyle that few would ever.
Not many guys can pull off a sweater vest with a white T-shirt underneath.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But
you're not one of them.
Oh yeah, flip flops visor. That tracks. Oh, we lost him.
We lost Alex.
Well, then I guess we're gonna go to, but that's all I watched. So Sean.
No.
All right.
Huh? Go. You didn't watch anything?
Bitch. No.
Somebody text Alec and make sure he's okay. Oh, there he is.
Back.
Alex back.
He's
back.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's back.
So Sean didn't watch anything. I only watched one thing.
And
I will say that I watched. We talk a lot about how when and how you watch a movie affects your viewing. I watched a movie in probably the worst possible scenario. They're doing road work outside of my apartment, like literally right outside of my apartment. So it felt like there was like a fucking jackhammer in my room all night. Like they started at 9:00 at night and they didn't finish until 5:30 in the morning. So basically I couldn't sleep the entire night. So I was like, well, I'm up. I might as well watch something. So I watched Smile. It's a horror movie that you probably didn't see. It's new because it just came out on VOD and stuff.
I heard that the movie is terrible, but the marketing for it was like phenomenal.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw. I'm feedbacking really bad on your mic, Sean. I don't know why.
I'm not even talking.
I know. I don't. But I can see your little thing. I don't know what that is. Just mute yourself for a second. Let me see if it happens.
You can see your little thing.
No, the little, the audio thing. Yeah, now it's stopped.
Show me a little thing.
But just hit the button when you want to talk. Hit the button. Anyway, real quick. Smile is a movie that you guys probably saw the viral marketing where people are like stadiums and shit, and they were like smiling creepy, and like that was like a viral marketing gimmick. It wasn't just weird.
They paid for like World Series tickets behind home plate.
Yeah,
to get that shit on there,
and people are on like Good Morning, like that. I think it's Good Morning America. That. So
big window.
Yeah. So anyway, this movie felt like Scary Movie, but like not a good Scary Movie like 6.
Is it a comedy?
No, it's unintentionally hilarious. It's
okay.
It felt like Scary Movie for A24 movies. Like it's trying so hard to be like It Follows, but it's just really bad and like incompetently made. Like the editing is really like So, a movie has bad editing when you talk about the editing, right? Like, you never bring up the editing until it's like, when it's like painfully obvious the editing is bad. And like, I mean, like, sound editing is bad, and like the actual like transition from scene to scene is really bad. The plot is stupid. It's literally just It Follows, except they smile. Like, it's just a ripoff of It Follows. It's awful. I will concede that it might be better than I thought, because I was watching it in possibly the worst mood I could be in. I was honestly hoping I would fall asleep, because generally speaking, when I watch something when I'm tired, I just fall asleep. No matter. You can. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Sean. You can just hit the unmute and talk. What the hell was that? It said raise his hand. Speak, Sean.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it still doing the feedback thing? Like, 'cause I'm just gonna have to fucking switch back to the phone. I'm tired of dicking around with this. Is like the third set of headphones I've bought to try to do this, and it still doesn't work.
That's so weird. I wonder why. Hold on. I'm gonna keep talking. Yeah, I can still hear it.
All right.
Are you putting all the audio through your headphones?
Bro, I don't fucking know.
Wow. Anyway, yeah, this movie is total garbage. I didn't fall asleep. I watched the whole goddamn thing, and it was really bad. And a lot of people are really enjoying this movie, and I don't understand. Like, I thought it was so bad that it was hilarious to me. So I don't know. It's garbage. I hated it. Stay away from Smile unless you want like a really generic, awful horror movie.
Hated it.
And now I pass the mic to Alec.
Alec.
Fucking finally.
Sorry. Yeah, goddamn.
Oh.
Fucking finally. Fuck you guys. I'm out of here.
I thought I cut it out again. I don't know. There's an update on iPhone that's being weird. Anyway, I watched a few things. I watched the relatively new animated movie, The Bad Guys.
Oh, Gogs loves that.
It's pretty good.
I liked it a lot. And I thought the animation was really good and something a little different. It felt like it was CGI, but also kind of like some parts were like looked like they were like hand painted almost. I thought it was really neat and really engaging. The movie itself was pretty good. Like, the voice cast was good. It was Sam Rockwell, Mark Maron, Zazie Beetz,
Awkwafina's in it.
Craig Robinson or Craig.
Craig Robinson.
Yeah, Craig Robinson. I'm missing somebody. I can't remember who the other one was.
Oh, the guy from the IT Crowd.
Oh yeah, Richard Ayoade.
Oh, I love that guy. He's great.
I thought it was really good. It's really fun. It's a little long. Like, I hit the thing by accident at one point, and I was like, "How is there like 45 minutes of movie left?" It felt like they should have been close to wrapping up. It's a little long, but I did enjoy it. I thought it was fun.
I really like the art style of that movie. Like, I only watched a few minutes of it, but it looked like, it's like you said, like, it looked kind of like hand drawn, but it was CGI. It was neat.
I was reading about it, and they said they were kind of inspired by. They wanted to do something, not copying like Into the Spider-Verse, but they wanted to do something slightly different from normal animation, where people would be like, "Oh, that's kind of."
I can definitely see that. I mean, like, I feel like if that's what inspires animators, like, I'm all for it, because I'm kind of sick of the kind of stock CGI animated style, you know, the kind of house Pixar style. It's kind of stale. You know,
Toy Story.
I mean, I love Toy Story, but, like, you know what I mean? I feel like it's gotten to the point now where it's getting kind of samey, you know?
Yeah. So that was good. I watched Pop Star the other day. I had a bad day at work, and my beautiful, loving wife, when I got home from work, had dinner ready for me, and we watched Pop Star till like 1 a.m. Because that's like one of my favorite movies ever. It always cheers me up. It makes me happy and laugh a lot. And I ate a huge weed gummy, and I was laughing uncontrollably.
You started saying Tilka. I thought you were going to say took a
big jump.
That makes you feel good too, though.
It can.
That can be very relaxing to take just a huge shit.
But yeah, Popstar still one of the best comedies ever made. The more I watch it, the more I think Tim Meadows' character might be my favorite in all their little arguments, where they just like turn the logic back on each other like 3 times in like 4 sentences.
Tim Meadows is like a wildly underrated actor.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I watched Tom Hanks' movie Big.
I haven't watched that in a long time.
Yeah, I haven't seen that movie in like.
It is a lot of fun. We were.
I don't know.
I was gonna. What is happening? Somebody sounds like you're like sweeping your floor.
That's the dog.
Wow.
He's like what's his name in Boogie Nights? He's like lighting off fireworks in the background.
He's Chinese.
Big is a lot of fun. It's a really good movie. Everybody's good in it. Robert Loggia, John Hurd, Elizabeth Perkins, Tom Hanks. I can't remember the mom's name, but I'm pretty sure she was the female lead in The Running Man. What's her name?
Oh, Maria Conchita Alonso?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's her.
We lost Sean.
Yeah, that movie's an absolute blast. And Tom Hanks is so goddamn good. Like, we were talking, like, is there...
I feel like that was, like, one of his... I mean, he was already famous at the time, but I think that's, like, one of his biggest, like, breakout hits. Like, that was a huge hit back in the day.
It was, like, right after Bosom Buddies. It was, like, one of his first breakout movies.
You all are my bosom buzzy. I can't even say it.
Bosom pussies.
Bosom pussies.
You're my bosom pussy.
I still think my favorite joke in that movie is it's a build. Who wants to play with a building?
Yeah.
But yeah, that movie slaps. They got us talking about is Tom Hanks the best actor in history due to his range and his abilities?
I mean,
he's arguably one of the best actors of our generation. It's like him and like Leonardo DiCaprio, probably.
And Alex, right though, he's done like every kind of movie.
Well, he started off like such a goofball.
Yeah, he's done like goofy comedies, serious movies, like war movies, sci-fi. Like he's done like everything.
When I was a kid, fucking Bachelor Party, man, you could see tits in that movie. That was a big deal. That was a big deal for me when I was like 9.
I mean, tits rule.
Guys with the AO. Like we were looking like decade by decade at like his movies, and like just his like 2000s or was it the 90s or 2000s are better than like most people's entire careers.
Oh yeah, it's insane.
Yeah. We need to do like a Tom Hanks month.
I'm surprised we haven't.
We haven't done a time. Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't.
And whatever you just did, Sean, it eliminated all the noise.
Well, it's because I muted it.
Oh, okay.
I'm almost done watching Return of the King. I've been watching it for like a week, and I still have like 40 minutes left. They just got rid of the ring, but there's still 40 minutes left. The extended version, the 4.5 hour.
That ending goes on for a little too long. Still not as long as in the book.
I still love it.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Well, I've never watched any of the extended cuts except for the first one before. Because watching Two Towers and there's all kinds of shit that I never saw before, like them killing Wormtongue and Sauron. I was like, they don't get to go scourge the Shire, they're just dead.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing, there's a documentary series on Netflix that we started watching. We watched the first episode. It's only 4 episodes. It's called Pepsi, Where's My Jet? It's about the Helicarrier or the Harrier jet giveaway joke commercial they had, but they didn't put any disclaimers in it. So this dude,
it's literally
saved up all the points and like demanded that they give him a Harrier jet. They said, because do you remember that like Pepsi promo in like the early to mid '90s? Like you got the points, There's like a catalog. You can get like clothes or like boom boxes and shit. In the TV commercial, the kid saved up 7 million points and got a Harrier jet. And in the commercial, they didn't put any like disclaimers, like anything, no legal right, anything. So this dude like went to lawyers and stuff and saved up the points. Discovered that you could buy the points for like 10 cents a point or something like that, and basically spent like $300,000 buying Pepsi points to get a Harrier jet. And they wouldn't, like, I'm only in the first episode, and that's kind of where it ended. So I'm not sure exactly how it goes, like what happens afterwards.
That's fucking.
But it's
wild.
like fascinating, and I haven't watched it, but it makes me want to watch that that Mick Monopoly documentary about the guys who are like manipulating the Monopoly McDonald's game.
Oh yeah,
and winning like millions. The same guys winning like millions of dollars every time they would run it.
Yeah,
yeah, that was a big. I watched that.
Yeah, they like gamed the whole system, man.
I think it was on HBO, but I want to watch that after I finish the Pepsi one. But it's like it's crazy, and it's like they're interviewing all these like old people from the Pepsi ad agency that ran it, or the ad agency they contracted that ran that ad. And they're all like, nobody could possibly reasonably think this is true. But then it all just ends with them saying, but we didn't say it.
Where's my elephant?
Well,
it's pretty much the same thing.
It's not the same, but I always think about the what's that 50 cents vitamin water company, Glycow or whatever.
Yeah, Glycow.
So they had a lawsuit because there's basically no vitamins in their water, right? It's not a health drink. It's a sugar water. There's nothing in it. And their defense was basically like, well, nobody thinks this stuff actually has vitamins in it. It's like, bro, you called it vitamin water. Like, what? And they won their fucking lawsuit. Like, it's wild, man.
Yeah. We just got a week subscription trial to AMC on Amazon, and AMC has the Shudder thing on there, and there's a bunch of movies on there I'm going to watch this week.
Oh yeah, Shudder fucking rocks, dude. I love Shudder.
And I'll report on those next week. We're probably going to watch those like all day Thanksgiving.
Hell yeah,
Shudder horror comedies. Hopefully, there's as good as Psycho Goreman.
Man, what a treat! I need to rewatch that. I feel like I need to rewatch that movie.
Movie's a jam.
Such a great movie.
That's it.
All right. Ricky O, aka Story of Ricky Gogs. What happened?
I'm gonna tell you guys right now. I didn't finish this movie.
What? Oh wow! I'm
like
surprised.
The subtitles didn't work, and I tried several times to get them to work. And the subtitles didn't work, so I was just watching without the subtitles and just watching the violence.
You watched it
enjoying that.
You watched it on the Plex? Because the subtitles came on automatically for me. I didn't even have to turn them on.
No, they didn't come on for me, and I tried.
I had to turn them on for me.
Oh.
I tried doing the thing and whatever, and it wouldn't work.
Weird.
So I was just watching the crazy violence.
Well, you really could get away with not like the plot.
But then, like halfway through the file, I stopped, and I tried to reboot it like several times, and it wouldn't start playing again. So I only got probably about a third to halfway through the movie. So all my ratings are going to be based on that.
Oh, that sucks. Oh, okay. All right. Well, Gogs, what happened in this damn movie? Bitch.
So, in a future not too far from our own, there's corporate for-profit prisons, shocker, and they're kind of locking up people for whatever, doing whatever. And one of the folks that gets locked up is a gentleman named, according to the movie, Ricky Ho, but I guess according also to the movie, Ricky O. And he is kind of like, everyone's kind of a schlub. He kind of looks like a beef weasel.
He looks like Liu Kang.
Yeah, very much so. And then from Jump Street, you're sort of introduced to the fact of, you know, the prison is, this prison video game movie is divided into 4 levels. the north, south, east, and west, and you better get shit together. So then we meet some guy who was locked up for, I forget what, tax evasion. And he gets the shit kicked out of him in a washroom.
He's just this little old man that just gets beat to fuck.
And somehow he smuggled in the train that he was building for his kid into the washroom.
Yeah, I'd like to point out that this movie has it's so good at duplicating the art style of the manga, because in the manga, stuff like this and like Fist of the North Star, you literally just have giant jack dudes, little waifish dudes, or huge fat men. That's like the only body type, and possibly one woman.
Yeah. So now, so they beat up this guy. They break the train he was making for his kid. They kind of leave him, whatever, these prison toughs, and then Riki-Oh isn't down for that. So he trips the guy and impales his hand and face together on a board of nails, which I guess was formerly the train.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Okay.
Yeah, that's correct.
So then that upsets the prison community. So then the rest of the movie
the prison community.
The rest of the movie is the prison community trying to find a way to kill Riki-Oh in various ways. They unleash a guy who ate the warden's horse. They had this big heavy set fella fight him, and then Ricky. Let me put this. So there's a lot of fighting in this movie.
It's mostly
the fighting is like, I'm guessing this is what Kung Pao Enter the Fist was sort of based on, because he's literally punching holes through people. Like he punched the top of a man's head off in one point in this movie.
Well, everybody's like spoiled, like spoiled meat. They're all
yeah. No one has
any
any bone structure, and their skin is very, very soft. Like he is just literally, guts are getting torn out. So he's like, but he's got like weird, like sort of friendship alliances with all the toughs, but not really.
He has like this. It's like a fucking mutual respect for fighter thing that keeps going on. Like,
well, there's that. He's like, we're people too. Like he literally knocked someone's jaw off of their face, and then had the balls to say, "Don't hurt them. We're ruining our humanity. These are people too." It's like, what?
It's called being based, Gogs.
The guy is he's impossibly based. And so, actually, speaking of impossibly based, you meet the junior warden, who's got he keeps mints in his fake eye. He has a hook for a hand, and he's just got a room that's just adorned with pornography.
Yeah, he has an entertainment center, and all the entertainment is pornog, full on big VHS porno.
And the first time you're introduced to him in his office, he's literally having like Thanksgiving dinner on his desk.
He's having the biggest steak you ever saw. That is like rare.
It is the rawest steak. It's like, it's not even like most people eat steak after the cow is dead, he's coming down the hill.
6 like soft boiled eggs in those little egg cups, like breakfast at Tiffany's, and he has like a pen jar of Lucy carrot and celery sticks.
Like this steak is so rare. This was like the maturing fetus of a steak. Like it is just the reddest, juiciest thing. It's barely cooked. I think it was made of gummy for the purposes of the prop, but he is just like hook finger in it. Like he's a menace, sort of. He gets his later. All the toughs sort of have weird thematic things. Like the one tough, like sort of has honor till he fights with a Rambo combat knife, and then tries to he commits seppuku.
Oh, that's the best part. Yeah.
And then when Ricky's like, "Don't do this," he's like, "I'm taking you with me."
We'll die together.
He loops his guts around Riki-Oh's neck and tries to choke him out with his intestines.
They are ostensibly in China. He is a Japanese Yakuza for whatever reason.
We should point out that this movie is Chinese. This is Hong Kong.
Full-on Chinese, kid.
Yeah, it's full-on Chinese, but it's based off a Japanese manga. So it's a weird kind of mashup of like Japanese and Chinese culture. And it's fucking wild. Also, it's one of the best like manga adaptations I've ever seen. It was like a lot of the manga adaptations in the live action specifically are terrible.
The Four Heavenly Kings / the Gang of Four are a very weird reference to the post-Maoist Chinese interim communist government that was corrupt.
I'm glad you brought that up. But
one of them is hands down the prettiest man I've ever seen in my life.
That's a woman, guys.
That's actually a woman. Yeah. I for literally, I've said this about a bunch of movies, I think, but I actually thought this was a man up until
Streets of Fire.
This viewing, and it's a woman.
Yeah,
and a woman who I've seen in other movies. I guess that they dub her voice. The voice is not hers, and obviously they give her. We lost Alec again.
Yeah, well, he just quit.
For the purposes of the narrative, she's a man.
This is like ostensibly like an anarcho-communist movie because it's very anti-communist government, but also anti-privatization.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So Rome, I think, is their name. A trans icon in this film. There's Alec.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, everyone's insane. You find out that this private prison is running an opium.
Well, it turns into V for Vendetta for like 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Ricky only has one motivation. It's constant revenge. He has like every 5 minutes he's revenging somebody else.
Yeah, they keep feeding. Yeah, it's like they're feeding Top Lane, but they just keep giving him more reasons to revenge.
Well, they keep killing everybody.
Everyone he has any emotional attachment to either gets stabbed or degutified or something, and then that just fuels
or their face gets like sanded off.
Dude, the guy, the kid. So the guy in the opening scene or the opening fight scene, not only did he bring the fucking train he was working on, bro, he also brought his planer and he got his face planed up. Like the violence in this movie is beyond reproach.
Speaking of the first guy Ricky O kills. There's so many hilarious parts in this movie, but the Gang of Four that Sean's talking about, at one point they're trying to turn this ally of Ricky O against him, and they're just in this room, right? They're just sitting in this room, and then they kind of give one of the other ones like a nod, and they're like, okay, and they just in the back of this room, they have this guy's fucking de-skinned torso on a bed. And like his skin is nailed to a wall, and they're like, "See what Ricky O did to your brother."
We also, God, there's so much about this movie. We didn't touch on how he's in the cemetery learning how to play the flute / punch through tombstones. We didn't talk about how the Gang of Four all have hysterical names. One of them's Tarzan, and one of them is named, I shit you not, White God.
White God fights with knitting needles on retractable like wires.
A scorpion thing,
yeah, it is.
And it is one of the least visible wires in this entire movie because the production it's like they shot every stunt in real time and they're like, we're not resetting.
Oh my God. The last scene of the movie where he busts the prison wall.
You can see all the wires. It blew my mind how many wires you can see.
Well, it fucked me up because like literally like 2 seconds before that, when we get to what happens with the warden, when he gets thrown into the air, you can very clearly see the fucking big fat white cable dragging him around.
So getting back to it, eventually you're introduced to the warden, and the warden's comically, impish son.
Oh, hang on, real quick, Gogs. I'm sorry. This is going to be a thing I think only TJ noticed, but it made me mad. Is they're like, if Ricky O is still alive, he must be Superman. But then his kid does the Ultraman pose, and 0 out of 10 would not recommend.
Yeah,
I was upset.
I noticed that. I was like, I wonder if they
translated
the subtitle or because he definitely did the Ultraman thing. I noticed that also.
Well, see, so Ricky O's running the gambit. He's fighting in front of a crucified fella. He gets buried alive, and he gets to reflect on the fact that his
it's like the crucifix from Cyborg, but then he picks it up like a caber.
It over.
It's fucking nuts.
Well, they all of his all of his like memories of fighting with his ghost uncle. It's like, I know you have superhuman strength, and it's like what is this guy doing? Just being a guy.
The exact line that was funny to me was the uncle what was his name? Uncle Ghost or something. He's like, I knew when you were a kid you had super strength. Are you still strong? It's like, what? No, it went away. It was a phase.
And then you find out that the love interest that everyone's kind of like lording over him, like, oh, you better play it safe. You ever want to see her again? You find out she gets killed by heroin dealers, and then that's why he goes to jail.
Most hilarious, like, throw a body off the side of the building. She gets corralled up by these heroin dealers, and then she like panics and runs away and jumps off the roof. But it's literally it's my favorite. We've talked about this 1,000 times. My favorite thing, where it's her running off the roof and then cut to a clear dummy that isn't articulated at all. It's like a pillow, and it's and then it hits the ground. And like the funniest, like I think they use the actual sound because just like flap. It's fucking great. And also, when he kills the drug dealer, he hits the guy in the head so hard it
makes a divot. It caves his fucking brains in, sort of. Like also, it's like
more Fist of the North Star parallels. Like he's shot. They only bring it up. They bring it up like twice, but in the beginning of the movie, like you think they're gonna bring up the fact that because there's somebody's like, why do you have bullets in you or something, and it hurts him, and he has to like meditate to like get rid of it or whatever. But like later in the movie, the drug dealer shoots him like 7 times, which is very similar to. If you've ever read Fist of the North Star, Kenshiro has the finger poke scars in his chest. It's a very similar thing.
We found his only weakness: bullets.
Oh yeah, so God. Like the movie.
Also, Ricky Oak, and he's like Wolverine. Like all he has to do is kind of meditate for a few seconds, and everything is healed. At one point, he sutures together his own cut with, I think, his veins.
Incorrect. He reaches into his forearm that's just been slashed by a Rambo survival knife. And then he finds the vein that's bleeding out, and he ties it off like with his hands and teeth. And like everyone else is like, fuck, he just fixed his own arm. And it's like, uh-oh. And then he proceeds to punch through everyone's bodies, like literally through everyone's bodies. Like he spends so much time punching through people.
The nephew and the flute, and he's like, no, you got to put it in the back of your mouth like this. And he's so happy. And then it's like, oh, you play the flute, now you have to die. Like, I forgot what that beat was.
Well, that kid was like betraying him or something. Yeah. I don't know. Like, and then, so let's cut to the chase. Towards the end of the film, so we've met the warden, and the warden explains to us that in, I guess, the Chinese prison system, the warden is always the best kung fu master, which is something I didn't realize.
That line cracked me the fuck up. It's like, it's well known.
No. The best part is he says, usually. So there are some instances where the wardens are not the best kung fu fighters in the private prison, but most of the time.
So then he fights the warden in the cafeteria kitchen where they were showing off the warden the latest menu. And then the warden's like, well, fuck you. And he goes like full on monster. Like
No. You forgot, or you didn't mention the guy's like complaining about that there's not enough meat. He's like, there's not enough meat, eh? And he shoves his arm in the thing, and it makes like actual like ground beef. And he's like, is that enough for you? Look.
Yeah, like it's so bonkers. It's so bonkers.
Yeah, but then he turns into like a Gwar stage.
It's like Power Rangers.
He turns into him. Yeah, he had that the whole time. Like what was and so yeah, he gets out.
Let's not talk about who could do what the whole time.
Yeah, a good point. So yeah, you're right. He gets Rita Repulsa, let my monster grow, and then Rikio decapitates him, and then
Well, no, hang on.
Actually, he puts him into the meat grinder
through the chest, and then through the dick, and picks him up.
Yeah, it suplexes him into a meat grinder.
Then, puts him into a meat grinder until literally there's nothing left but his head.
But this is all happening mid-prison riot because the prisoners have finally had enough of this nonsense.
They're having a slow karate prison riot outside.
Also, the prison guards are dressed up in the fucking Shadow Lou outfits.
Yeah.
Well, some of them also have spiked shoulder pads not addressed.
Oh, one of the riot guy, like when the riot gear comes in, they look like Mad Max rejects. It's fucking hysterical. Like they have
like
there's a fucking
Cylons or whatever.
Hysterical prison guard scene where they've got Ricky in some pit and they want the prisoners to bury him one shovel at a time, which is going to take like years. But then, like, right before that, the one prison guard just lets loose with this, like, Barrett machine gun for, like, 20 minutes. They shoot these two guys in a circle, and they're, like, fucking marionette dancing. Oh, it's the best.
God.
And so then after Riccio presents the decapitated heads, he's like, by the way, prison's out for the summer. And then he just walks over to he punches... He like summons all of his chi or whatever, and then he punches a hole through the prison wall, which I guess to Sean's point, you could have done that the whole fucking time.
Well, there's a scene earlier that cracks me up. I mean, there's a lot of scenes that crack me up, but the one where the warden is trying to mush him with the big like press after he fights Tarzan. And he gets out of that just by busting through the bars. But, like, why did you wait so long?
This is a reference that maybe Alec and TJ will get. I don't know. Okay. When Jonathan Hickman tried to explain how the Star Brand power works in one of those Avengers runs when they brought the new universe guys back, it's this dynamic power source that only gives you 5% more of whatever your opponent's power is for some reason. Yeah. So like it gives you just enough power to do whatever task you're doing. I think that's how Ricky O's powers work.
Makes sense. Yeah. Ricky O part of the new Universal.
I mean, he obliterates this wall. Like, he punches it so hard, like, it explodes 10 feet above him and 30 feet beside him on either side.
Also, he has, like, this is the first time any of his attacks are, like, animated, because he has, like, a fire fist when he punches through.
Yeah.
And then he presumably goes off to fight the world.
Yeah, well, all of his avenging's been done, so what are you up to now, Ricky? Like, I don't know. The movie's fucking... bonkers. It is like
it's one of the most bonkers things ever.
It is one of the most legitimately insane things I've ever seen in my life. It's a lot of fun. Big ups, Ricky O, but it's like a trauma movie in like how much people fall apart with the littlest bit of like physical caress. Like they just meld into goop.
And it's like right from the jump too, like that.
There's no build up. It's just like immediately, like we're just going to punch. Like the first punch that Ricky O throws, like goes through someone's head. Like it's just turned into it's just splatter. It's wonderful.
All right,
but that's it.
Let's get into Five Knuckle Shuffles.
Let's keep it tight.
Alec, what did you think of the 20% of the movie that you watched?
Well, the 20% of the movie was 60% good.
There you go. Hey.
So
I'm trying to do that math real quick.
Yeah, so 60 divided by 20 is 3.
Oof.
But 3 is only 20% of the movie, so 3 times 5 is 15. So really...
Scott Steiner math.
Yeah.
It's gonna... I don't know. I'll give it like a 7. Like the gore and stuff that I saw was good, but like I don't have the energy or patience to like keep playing with the movie to get it.
Yeah, it's
to work right.
You should try to find it. It's probably available streaming somewhere else.
I think it's on Netflix or Hulu because I watched it not that long ago on a streaming service, like a regular one.
Honestly, I didn't even look. I just
assumed
it would be something hard to find.
No, this movie is actually like shockingly well known. I feel like
it's like a pretty big cult classic.
Yeah.
I guess I should have taken the 2 seconds and typed it under the Roku search feature.
Nope, smacks of effort.
Nah,
couldn't be bothered.
I more respect you couldn't do that.
Yeah, so I'll give it a 7. It didn't have a chance to bore me or anything.
Yeah, well, the movie also, all this crazy shit happens, and this movie is an hour and 31 minutes long. And we lost Alec again. This movie is fast. This movie fucking just, it starts and it ends. Like, it gets everything in as fast as possible. Since we lost Alec again, a lot of technical difficulties this week. Sean.
Oh, this is like, I can't objectively rate this movie. Like,
there he is.
It's not like good in any like, I don't know what it's trying to say something. I don't know what that is. I'm not an expert on a reconstructionist post-Mao communist China. But like, this movie just goes so hard. Like, it was somebody talked about the Pride theme song one time. It's like this, it goes so hard it makes me want to take a shit standing up just to see what would happen. Like, it's fucking bonkers, and like, it's like, I love gore. It's a Turbo Kid thing, right? Like, I love gore when it's at this level. Although Turbo Kid's like a sweet, sentimental movie, and this movie is like for dum-dums. Like, it has nothing on it. Like, it's
this movie is like the Doom guy's brain. Like,
rip into. But like, it is kind of sweet, like how when you're looking at like all these like fucking gags that they had to make, and like the fucking rubber suits and the styrofoam wall and all the like old school Godzilla kind of special effects, like
all the eyes popping out.
Right. It's like let's put on a show, right? And it's like, well, we don't have a script, nobody can act, we don't really have a plot. But what do we got? It's like, we got a lot of cornstarch and red food coloring, so let's just roll with that. Like, I fucking love shit like that, man. Like, it's just, it is very singularly unique. Like, it, there's no other movie like Ricky O, the story of Ricky, and just like the fucking, I just pop every time something I recall happens. Like when, it's like, hey, don't run, Tarzan, and he just does the 5 questions head smash, and that's like the least insane thing that happens in the entire movie.
Yeah.
The whole fucking MacGruber graveyard uncle fight flashback, like, is fucking just banana.
He was like Solomon Grundy just throwing tombstones at him.
Yeah, and he's punching through it in his fucking school uniform, even though he looks exactly the same. Like, his haircut's not even different.
They didn't try at all to make him look different.
Legit, like, it turns into V for Vendetta for 2 minutes when he's standing outside the fucking poppy field, like, and I forgot, like, how much the word bastard gets used in English translations of Japanese movies, but like, they try to stop him by pouring concrete on him, and then they chain him up, but he breaks the chains, but then they chain him up with the same gauge chain later, and it keeps him. Like, who knows? The scene geography's all over the place. The fourth king is holding him down with his foot, and she's like, well, come on, and then they pan over her shoulder, and he's like in exactly opposite side of the room. Like, who gives a shit? Like, the fucking kid is like just like touched in a way that's like,
of course, yeah.
I mean, but it's so much fun, man. Like, I can't, like,
you should dress like that kid. That's like your new look.
It's the best. This is a 10 for me. Like, I can't do it. Like, I can't be more entertained by a movie than this. I really can't.
Yeah.
Peebles.
It's also a 10 for me, dog. I fucking love this movie. I've loved this movie for years. This was one of these movies where I had like a bootleg VHS of it, and this is a movie I would show people all the time because this movie is fucking hilarious, and it doesn't, like, it doesn't waste any time, and it's just a blast. Like, it's just so effing ridiculous. Like, I love it. I love the practical effects. I love how goofy it is. I also love its weird ambition, right? Because, I mean, I keep referring to this stuff, but this is like a shonen manga, which is like Dragon Ball or Fist of the North Star or anything like that. And basically those are kind of formulaic episodic things where the strong fighter ends up fighting other strong fighter, but he's trying to work his way to big strong fighter. That is what that genre is. And what those stories are, they're always like very decompressed, right? They take forever and they kind of repeat the same beats over and over again. Well, they did like an entire series in this tiny little movie. And it's funny because like it's like it's almost like if it was a smarter movie, it's like deconstructing those tropes, right? But I think all they did was like, well, in these stories they fight like 700 people and we don't know how to space it out right, so we're just going to have him do it like it's like, you know, each like 10 minutes is like a new episode of the show. And
it's like a boss rush, basically.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, guys. It's a really good way to put it. But it's fucking great, and I love how ridiculous everything is, and like I love just like there's like 2 crucifixions in this movie, and like it's fucking absolutely absurd. Like there's no other word to use.
The plot is ludicrous.
It's just so insane. Like, how do you come up with some of this shit? Like Cox was explaining, he like fucking tied one of his veins together. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's so stupid. And like, and no one blinks an eye at his superhuman abilities. Like, in that,
no, they're like fucking. It's like wacky races. They're like, oh damn you, Ricky! We'll get you next time.
In that fight where he ties his vein together, he's also blinded like for like half a second, and his eyes are like bleeding out
until he like punches into a natural spring or something, and it blasts water all over his face. Like at some point, his oppressors should have like put like 2 and 2 together. Like, oh, we're kind of fucked. Like, there's no way this is gonna work out for us. We don't possess any part of his power set.
It's so fucking funny. Also, like, I don't know, the fact that like, you know, like the first guy that gets killed, like he goes to jail for like tax evasion, but like fucking. He's in this like maximum security death prison. Like,
can we briefly talk just 1 second? I don't want to interrupt you, but the fucking where he's like the warden's like, "Oh, you didn't know we have the same kung fu style," and that amounts to absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
I don't know why that was even mentioned.
Yeah, we have the same kung fu style. That's why I mean, presumably, like you thought that at that point maybe Ricky would turn into a big gore monster too, but no,
flashback to Ghost Uncle or something. Like I was the first student of your Ghost Uncle, but like nope.
Oh my god! But
why wouldn't you be big monster man all the time?
Like, how about her? She's like, if your opponent is stronger, you be smarter. And he's like, oh, okay. And then he immediately punches him through the chest and the dick, and then throws him, which is the least smart way to do anything. It's just, and I'm pretty sure he says yeet when he throws the head. Yeet.
Oh, and we didn't even talk about the fucking ridiculous death of the like junior warden. He shoots him with this gun, and for
the Big Trouble Little China gun.
Yeah, for some reason it makes him explode like fucking Big Trouble Little China, and he explains it away by saying this gun was designed to kill elephants.
Is that how you hunt elephants?
Also, don't let Tita find out.
People explode from the gun is not consistent because he explodes in like a meat geyser. But then when he shoots the other guy in the asshole when he's in the dumbwaiter, he like explodes like a dynamite explosion.
Oh my god, this movie is a fucking blast. It made me feel like a kid again. I fucking love this movie.
It is a triumph.
I totally agree with Sean. This is like wholly original. Like there's I wish there were copycats of this movie, to be honest, because it's so much fun. Like I wish somebody would have made a fucking Fist of the North Star just like this. Like, you know, maybe like do it post-apocalyptic, do the whole thing, but just make it as absurd. Like, it would have been great. Like, I want to go to that alternative universe where that happens. But yeah, it's a 10. I love this fucking movie. Also, I want to say that the cover that's on the Plex is from the Shout Factory Blu-ray. That cover fucking rocks if you get a look at it. But anyway, Gogs, you're up last.
So I've never seen this movie before until now.
I can't believe TJ has never made you watch this movie before.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah. So I'm gonna I can't bring to it all the nostalgia that you fellas did, but I will say this: I'm looking at it through I'm gonna give it the same kind of gravitas that I give Predator 2, which is it's not good, but it is excellent. So
that's fair.
I'm giving it a 9 because I watched this and I was dumbstruck with the things I was seeing. and it's a movie.
Oh, wait a minute. 10-10-9-3.
Oh, it's a certified good ass movie.
Certified good ass movie.
Yeah, because Alex Steinermath got it to a 7. No, it got to a 7. Yeah, so we're good. The movie, it's one of those movies. Like as I sat by, it's such a spectacle that I'm like, I have to show this to other people just to prove it exists.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like it's like finding Sasquatch. You're like, I can't be alone in this endeavor.
Yeah. That's exactly how I felt when I first saw it. Like it's like, I don't know, it's very watchable. You know what I mean?
I watched this movie was like the first time I played Mortal Kombat. You know what I mean? It's that kind of feeling. Like, oh my god, you gotta see this.
Yeah. It's so absolutely fucking bonkers, but at the same time, like Riki-Oh, the gentleman that plays Riki-Oh, is doing it like so earnestly. It's such a weird counter like to what's going on. I loved it. I'm gonna, if there's a way to buy it on Blu-ray, if Shout Factory or Scream Factory has an option.
There is a Blu-ray available.
I will purchase it. It's a 9. I enjoyed it thoroughly. It is. I will have to rewatch it just because it's so fucking wild. Like I will sit people down and consume substances and be like, we need to see this now. But yeah, 9 for me. So certified good ass movie. Story of Ricky. Put it on your box. Mulehole Radio certified good ass movie.
Also, I don't even know what his story is, to be honest.
Yeah, what is
revenge? I guess. Because now did he get in prison on purpose just to do his revenge, or did it just happen to work out?
He didn't know that they were. It wasn't until later where he found out that they were doing the like poppy fields or whatever. So like,
it's just a happy coincidence.
They don't really get into it, but I assume he went to jail for killing the drug dealer. Right?
Well, no, that's what they said for beating someone to death for manslaughter. So yeah, that was it. But yeah, there we go.
But yeah.
So my pick's next week, right?
Yes.
Penitentiary 3, where he fights Karate Midget.
Penitentiary 3?
Yeah.
And that's a Jet Li, or no, that's a Donnie Yen movie.
No. Well, he might be in it like as like a young man, but no, this is like it's a canon movie.
Oh hell yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Penitentiary 3. All right, I'm in. I can't wait.
All right. Let's go.
All right. Gogs, you have anything you want to plug?
Besides Riki-Oh, all the holes Riki-Oh made? No, I'm good. Thank you very much.
All right, everybody. Next week, Penitentiary 3. Hopefully I won't be lost because I haven't seen Penitentiary 1 and 2.
Yeah, I hope we can figure it out.
I think you'll be okay.
Gogs. Riki-Oh is only available in Europe on Blu-ray. What the hell? Look at that.
Well, I'll just order it through my VPN.
Did your Blu-ray player have a VPN?
Yeah, it'll figure it out.
Oh, okay, cool.
All right, everybody. See you next week. You know the deal. Eat your
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Oh yeah, happy Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving. One of the few non-problematic holidays, right? Everybody just eats.
Yeah.
Is Thanksgiving problematic?
Probably somehow, but I'm going to act like it's not.
Are you doing a bit?
No.
Are you serious?
Is it problematic? Why is it problematic?
Colonizers.
Oh
yeah.
Big time. It's like the colonizers' feast.
Do you know how the country used to be ruled by the Washington football teams?
Oh yeah. I just think about the food.
The food's awesome.
I
was talking to somebody. They're like, "What do you want for Thanksgiving?" I'm like a mega Thanksgiving person. It's like just give me stuffing with mushrooms and celery. Don't put no fucking oranges in it, no raisins, none of that bullshit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Mashed potatoes, stuffing, turkey.
I want your big. I got my big 4. I want
no macaroni and cheese.
I mean, no, I can talk about macaroni and cheese, but don't put shit in it. You know what I mean?
No,
just
I'm with you on that.
Macaroni and cheese. Like
I want turkey. I want stuffing. I want mashed potatoes. I want gravy all over it, and I want a roll with cranberry sauce, and I'm good to go.
Yeah, if you want to get crazy, do a King's Hawaiian roll. But really, I just want a biscuit. A hot roll.
That's all
I don't want. I don't want like your deconstructed haricot vert casserole. Put that fucking French as shit in the green beans and the mushroom soup, and just like
I'm with you on that. I'm agreeing. I'm gonna agree with you on this one. Yeah.
The only time I'll suffer the difference is when we had that weird Thanksgiving at your place in Columbia with the seafood stuffing I made and the butter turkey.
Oh yeah, but that was good.
Yeah.
Shout out to butter turkey.
That butter turkey. Yeah,
I'm surprised that we are still alive.
I was gonna say it took years off all of our lives, but man, it was.
How many pounds of butter was in that thing, Gogs?
7 sticks.
7 sticks of butter.
It was
only
good,
like a pound and 3/4.
Yeah, it's not bad.
All right, relative to the size of the turkey.
Happy
all right.
Thanksgiving.
All right.
Later, guys.
Bye.
Bye.